We'll discuss a concept called perform. Okay. So perform means inside procedure division, we write the business logics, right? So those business logics we can keep separately inside the procedure division only, and we can execute them multiple times. We can keep them separately inside procedure division. We can execute multiple times. For example, I'll show you. Let me write a program. Identification division. Okay. Suppose this is a program, very small program, identification division, program ID, procedure division. I am displaying IBM mainframe stop run. For example, I want to display this line multiple times, 5 times. Okay. I want to display this line 5 times, or I want to display this line 10 times. What will happen? I have to repeat this line so that there are 10 displays. Okay. Display, display, display. So every time this will be displayed. So my code is very big. My code has become very big. My code has become very big. But there is a way of doing it in one shot. So you define a paragraph. Sorry, not paragraph. You keep it inside perform and end perform. So before display statement, you write perform. After display statement, you write end perform. Just like if and if, there should not be any dot between perform and end perform. That means you have defined this display statement within perform and perform, and here you write 10 times. Perform 10 times. So perform 10 times, you're asking the system that perform 10 times what? Whatever is there inside. Display IBM mainframe. End perform. You're closing this perform statement within an end perform. So rather than writing this line 10 times manually, display IBM mainframe, display IBM mainframe, you can write it this way: perform 10 times and perform. Display and perform. So whatever is there within perform and end perform will be executed 10 times. It is not only display. Whatever you write, if you write 3 lines inside, all the set of 3 lines will be executed 10 times, one by one. So this kind of things is called inline perform. So there are two types of performs. One is called inline, one is called outline perform. So first of all, let's do inline perform. In inline perform, we write the statements between perform and end perform. In inline perform, we always write the statements between perform and end perform. Now, this perform 5 times, perform 10 times are very less used in real time. Okay, these are very rarely used. If you have any kind of usage, you can use it this way: perform 10 times, perform 5 times, and inside this, you can write the statement. Did you get an idea?
Yeah. Can you explain inline perform and outline perform?
Outline will get later.
Okay.
First, we'll do inline. You'll not understand if you explain everything. Let me first compile this program and execute.
Mm.
So compile it is slowly one. So compilation is done. I will execute it. matc.jb.cobol.source. Sorry, yeah. So run here. I will write the program name. Then if I submit it, access is 0. If you go to spool, see 10 IBM mainframes. Okay, this is how it will work. This is very simple, and at the same time it is not used much, remember, but you should know how to do it. This is called inline. So what is, how will you know whether it's inline or an outline? When you write perform and perform, and within perform and perform you write your statements. Now same thing if you do through outline. First of all, let me comment out these 3 lines. So at 7th position, if you write star, it will comment out these lines. Let me do the same thing in outline. So in outline, what we do is we define paragraph. Suppose perform 100 para. I'm writing perform 100 para. Then I will define the paragraph here 100 para. Inside that, I will write display IBM mainframe. See, in the normal inline perform, I wrote perform 10 times. This time I am writing perform 100 para 10 times. What is this 100 para? This is the name of a paragraph. In case of outline perform, we have to always define paragraphs. So I am calling a paragraph. Where is this paragraph defined? Here below. So see, I have defined it at 8th position. So if you remember in the first class, I told you that while discussing area A, area B, inside procedure division, everything we write at area B, position number 12. But there are only some cases where we write the lines from area A, that is the paragraphs. When we define the paragraphs, it will start from area A, 8th position. So perform is call. Call this paragraph 10 times. Which paragraph is it? This is the paragraph. What is there inside? Display IB mainframe. So this same thing is modified in this way. Perform 10 times, perform 100 para 10 times. In this case, in between perform and perform, we write the thing, but in this case, we write the thing inside the paragraph. This is the difference. Did you get it? So if you are asked in interview, this is a mandatory question. So how many types of paragraphs we have? Inline and outline, right? So what is the difference between inline and outline perform? In inline perform, we always have perform and perform. We write the statements between perform and end perform. But in outline perform, we always write the statements inside paragraphs. And then we call the paragraph. Now, here I have called the paragraph, then below I have defined. So this paragraph you can define anywhere inside procedure division. It is not like you have to define it just after this. You can define it anywhere. If you define it at the 2000th line of the program, then also it will work. It just should be present inside procedure division. If it is not present, it will give compilation error 12. Okay. Did you understand this example?
Yes.
If you execute this one, same output will get. Hmm, did I save it? What?
In outline para, we don't need to give n perform, right?
No, yeah, we don't need it. And perform is only used for perform.
Okay.
Mm. There's a difference that whether will be asked in interview. What is the difference between inline and outline? In inline, we write the statements between perform and perform. And in outline, we define a paragraph. We write the statements within the paragraph, and we
Hmm.
call the paragraph.
Call
Now,
it.
this paragraph, one more thing. This paragraph you can call from anywhere in the program. You have defined it here, no? You can call it one
Yeah.
more time here. You can call
Okay.
5 times this paragraph. So this is the
Hmm.
advantage of having outline paragraph. You define it once and you call it unlimited times in the program.
Yeah.
Okay. The problem what is happening here is even though I'm calling this 100 paragraph 10 times, what is happening? It is going inside. Okay, there was stop run written right here.
Yes.
So it is thinking that this stop run is part of this 100 paragraph. The system is thinking that these two lines are part of this 100 paragraph. So it is going inside, it is displaying this line, it is closing the program. That is why we are getting only one output, only one IBM mainframe. So what I have to do is I have to move the stop run to here. Now this will work. Okay. So now we know that stop run should always be the last line of a program, but essentially in this example it is the last line. See, perform 100 para 10 times, it will go to 100 para, it will execute this line multiple times, then it will again come back, then it will go to stop run, then it will stop the program. So you have to write it this when the before this I wrote it, the stop run was written here below display. So system thought that it is part of 100 para. It displayed this, it closed the program. So you have to write it this way. See, 10 times.
Hmm.
Okay. So always having this kind of outline paragraph is very much important. Now, perform multiple times is very less used. In real time, we have this type of things. Perform 100 para. Okay. One time calling at a time. So I have defined a paragraph. I'm calling it from here. I can call this paragraph from anywhere within the program. That is why it is very important. You will get this perform statement in each and every COBOL program in your project. In each and every COBOL program, you will have this outline paragraph. This inline is very inline. You will not get much. Outline you will get in each and every paragraph. So each and every program. Okay, this kind of like perform this, then you will have to define it somewhere. You can call it as many times as you want in the program. That is the advantage. For example, why this is used actually? Okay, so there are some 5 conditions. If so, the customer, the client sends a file, and he has given 5 conditions. If this value is this, integrate the record. If this value is this, integrate the record. If this value is this, integrate the. So there are 5 different conditions. Multiple business logics are there, suppose. So we write all the if conditions at different positions after different business validations, and we define one paragraph where we write all the file writing steps, moving the records to output file and all of that. And we just call the paragraph in each if condition, perform 100 para, suppose. So whenever the business logic validation is done, write the record in output file. Whenever the second business validation is done, write the record in output file. That is how after all business validations, write the records in output file. So I will write it only once. I will write the output file writing logic only once, but I will execute this paragraph at the 5 different times. What if I don't define a paragraph? What if I directly want to write at every if? Then what will happen? The code will become very lengthy and it will become very difficult to understand. After every if you write the same logic, So whenever there is same logic, keep it inside a paragraph and execute whenever necessary. Hmm? If same
Mm.
logic is getting used at multiple places in the program, define it inside a paragraph and then call it at the necessary positions. This is the usage of perform, outline perform. This is very important. Okay. Now these simple performs are done. Now let's do something called inline perform only will do. Perform until, it is very important. Perform until. Okay. Perform until WSA equal to 3. So I have written perform until WSA equal to 3, display IBM mainframe. So the meaning of this is keep on performing. So this has become a loop now. So keep on performing this loop until and unless WSA becomes 3. As long as it is less than 3, keep on running. So what is WSA? I will have to define it. Data division working storage section. So I've defined a variable WSA picture clause 9 of 1 value zeros initialized by zeros. Now here I have written perform until WSA is equal to 3. Display IBM mainframe. So what is the initial value of WSA? 0.
0.
And I am asking the system to keep on running this loop until it becomes 3. So here what I have to do is after every display I will have to increase the value. Add +1 to WSA. So it will work in this way. First time it will check the loop. Before going inside the loop, it will check the value. Perform until WSA equal to 0. It will check what is the value of WSA. It is 0. So it is not satisfying. So it will go inside. So see, don't get confused between this. Whenever it is not satisfied, this condition, it will perform. It is not like if it is satisfied, then only it will perform. If it is satisfied, it will stop. The meaning of until is like that. Perform until this is satisfied. If it is not satisfied, then only it go inside. So in the first case, it is not satisfied. It is 0. So it will go inside. It will display. So display IBM mainframe. Then what I'm doing is I'm increasing the value of WSA by 1. So immediately the value of WSA is becoming 1 after the first display. Then it will come out of end perform. Then again it will check perform until WSA. This time it has become 1. So it is not satisfied yet. It will go inside. It will display IBM mainframe once again. This time I'm making it 2. Okay, I'm adding +1. So it is becoming 2. It will check perform statement once again.
Yeah.
Then perform until WSA equal to 3. So it will go inside again. So third display. Then I'm adding 1. So it is becoming 3. The fourth time it will try to check. This time it is becoming 3. It has already become 3. So this loop is satisfied. It will not go inside this loop anymore. It will directly come out of end perform. It will not go inside because the value of WSA has become 3. So initially it was 0. So it went inside. It gave this display, value changed to 1. Second time it checked, value was 1. It went inside, it displayed IBM mainframe, value became 2. Third time it checked, value was 2. It went inside, gave third display, value became 3. Fourth time it checked, value became 3. It stopped, it came out of end perform. Okay? That is how
Okay.
we'll get 3 displays. Let me execute and show you. Stop run. What? Aspect add. Oh shit. I wrote data division inside procedure division. Okay. Okay. Now it will work. Data division will always come before. See? Three displays.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do the same thing, if you want to do the same thing, okay, let me move all of this inside procedure division. Then it will be easy to understand later on. Okay. Let me comment out this one. So same thing I'll do in outline perform this time.
Okay.
So how I'll write this? Perform. So easy. First write the inline, okay? Then perform. After perform, write something. So see, why do I write 100 para? Why this 100 is required? This is the name of a paragraph. Okay, we generally use some numbers while defining the paragraph name. You can, it's not mandatory, you can use any name, okay, but it should be relevant. But I have seen that most of the times they use some numbers: 50 read para, 100 open para, 200 process para, 250 close para, like that. So you can use perform 100 para, then you can write the remaining part until wsa is equal to 3. Okay, so just 100 para is extra before until. Then
Mm.
you have to define the paragraph here at eighth position. Write 100 hyphen para. Dot you have to give mandatorily here also dot. If before 100 para, whenever you define the paragraph, if before that you don't give a dot, it will give you compilation error. Error maxi 8. So before this defining of para, you have to give one dot. So now in 100 para, what will you write? Display, suppose IBM mainframe, then add +1 to WSA. Done. So after this one paragraph, you are going to write stop run. Same thing, same three displays will come in this case also. This is the way of writing. If you don't, if you get confused, first remember this one in line, write it this way. Then write this statement perform until, just before until write a paragraph name. Keep stop run. Then give the paragraph name and whatever is there inside both the lines right here. Now, why have I given this +1 to WSA? This one, what will happen if I don't give? Can you tell me? What will happen if I don't give this WS add plus? Why do I increment this value? Why do I have to increment this value? What will happen if I don't do this?
It will continuously perform, right? It comes in loop, infinite
Yes,
loop.
exactly, exactly. Good. It will go into infinite loop because
Mhm.
first time it will check the value of WSA is 0. So it will give one display. Since this line is not there, second time it will check the value is still 0, one more display. Third time 0, one more display. Fourth time 0, one more display. So this value of WS is never changing. It is always 0. So it will give unlimited displays. At one point of time, it will bring down the spool and it will fail with S722. Whenever there are too many sysout statements and the job is not running, it is going to infinite loop. First of all, it will bring down the spool because of too many displays, and then it will run it will fail with timeout error as 722. So while writing this kind of programs, it's very important to see these logics. Okay, now to get rid of this, so that we don't have to write this at +1, there is one more way of doing this. That is just the extension of perform until, where you don't have to write this at plus one manually. So perform varying WSA from 0 to 3 until WSA equal to 3. This is the statement. In place of perform until WSA equal to 3, I have written perform varying WSA from 0, uh, sorry, from 0 by 1 until WSA equal to 3. Meaning, perform changing the value of WSA, taking the initial value as 0 and incrementing by 1. So I've written everything in the statement. In the last
Mm.
example, I wrote only until WSA greater than 3 and I incremented here. But in this case, I'm incrementing in the perform statement only. See, by 1 means incrementing by 1. From 0 means initial value. In the previous case, where was the from value? From 0. While
We
defining,
initializing the, yeah.
we define. But in this case, this you don't have to define it here. You just you don't have to initialize the value. You just define the variable. This initialization also we are handling in this statement only. From 0 means starting from 0, incrementing by 1 until it becomes 3. Then display IBM mainframe. Then and perform stop run. Got it? This is how it will be written.
Mm.
See, 3 displays. Okay. So if you have written this, then obviously you will be able to write the outline paragraph also. How? Perform varying. Just before varying, write perform 100 para. That's it.
Para.
Perform 100
Mm.
para, varying WSA from I1. Then move the stop run just after perform. And below this, define 100 para dot
Para.
and remove the end perform. Done.
Perform.
Got it?
But yeah.
So these are the 4 types of perform statements. One is this one. Suppose you write this way: perform, within perform and end perform. You write any statement. It will display this one time, but this is meaningless. If you don't even write
Mm.
perform and perform, it will still display this. So that
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not show. Second thing is, okay, same thing you can in outline perform looks like this. You perform a call a paragraph, then you define it here, and you can call this paragraph unlimited times in the program, as many times as you want. Second is perform multiple times, 10 times, 5 times. You just write perform 10 times and perform within this you write your statements. Same thing if you want to do through outline perform, you have to write perform 100 para 10 times, stop run, then 100 para you define. Okay, this is called perform multiple times. Third one is perform until. So in inline perform, you have to write perform until WS equal to 3, WS is greater than 3 or equal to 5. It depends on the logic. And perform, and you define all your statements, and you have to increment or decrement the value of WSA so that this loop is satisfied at one point of time. Otherwise, it will go in infinite loop. Same thing if you want to write through outline perform, you have to write the same line you write just before until you write 100 para. Then stop run, then write 100 para, and then write these 2 lines. Fourth case is just the extension of perform until, perform varying until. So perform varying WSA from 0 by 1 until WSA is equal to 3. So here initialization also we are doing. that incrementing also we are doing. Okay, and same thing if you want to do through outline perform, it looks like this. Got it? How to write this? Now, out of
Yeah.
these, which are the ones which are used? This perform multiple times is not used much. I have not used. Perform, this simple perform is very, very much used. Like in each and every COBOL program, this will be used at multiple positions of the simple perform. Perform a paragraph name, then stop run. So how it is written, if you are using any file in your program now, so perform written perform unread. Suppose it is written like this, perform unread initialization para. We have to initialize some variable init para. Then inside procedure division, right? Perform suppose 150 open para. Here we'll open the files. Then perform 200 read para. Here we'll read the files. Then perform 250 process para. Here we'll after reading we'll process the data and load, update, insert whatever it is there we'll do. Then perform 300 close para. We'll close the paragraph, close the files. So we'll initialize the variables here. We will open the files here. We will read the file here. We will process the data. We will finally close. So this is how inside procedure division it will be written like this. You will see the programs in this way always. Then we will define 100 init para. We'll write the statements. Then 250 open para. We'll write the statements. 200 read para. We'll write the statements. 250 process para. We'll write the statements. In 300 close para. We'll close the paragraphs. This is how it is done in real time. This is why it is very important to know. This for normal perform is very much used. Perform until is used while reading the file in a loop. Okay, while reading the file in a loop, you need perform until. This is used. Perform varying until is also used, but if you it can be handled through perform until also. So anyone of these can be used. Perform or perform until anything can be used.